Here we see a native creature to the Mojave wasteland, the bighorner. This majestic beast can be found throughout the Mojave and in Zion Canyon and originate from bighorn sheep, which were native to the American Southwest. The population itself can be found around water sources and local plant life such as the banana yucca fruit, which makes them rather instrumental in herb tracking. And speaking of herb tracking, these animals are herbivores, which means they only like to eat plants, which makes them generally calm beasts with docile dispositions, in spite of being quite capable of being dangerous when provoked, such as in combat situations. Several settlements, such as Good Springs and Jacobstown, have domesticated them for a source of fresh meat, milk, hides, and horns, which is then used for trading with local merchants and for income for the local population. Overall, this animal is iconic in the landscapes of rural towns and in the Grand Canyons of Zion, which would make them unmistakable in the Mojave backdrop. Moving on to another animal on the east coast in the capital wasteland that is rather more hostile in its approach would be the animal named the Yao Guai. This animal was named by descendants of those held in Chinese internment camps before the Great War, which the word Yao Guai roughly translates to the word monster or demon in Chinese mythology. Yao Guai are usually physical manifestations of the spirits of mistreated animals or fallen divine animals. The creature itself is based on the mutated American black bear that lived across America before the Great War. In terms of the animal itself, it thrives in places such as the capital wasteland, and this is evidenced by the fact that the animal is able to reproduce, which can be shown by the presence of cubs. Wild Yao Guai will attack nearly any other animals or people they encounter, which is also evidenced in their carnivore nature for eating meat. And this animal is also known for attacking other dangerous animals such as the deathclaw, which makes them one of the more vicious creatures of the capital wasteland, having razor-sharp claws and teeth and a nasty temperament. Despite this, Yao Guai exhibit a gentle familial bond toward one another when found together and can even be domesticated. Yao Guai themselves have been known to be hunted for their meat and hides, as one of the meals that can be made with the Yao Guai, such as being prepared into ribs and roasts. Yao Guai remains may also be kept as trophies, trinkets, or used as materials, which some people have been able to make exotic weapons out of the animal. Overall, this creature is best to be avoided when trekking around the wasteland, especially if you're trading. Finally, the widest and the most popular animal for wastelanders to use over the hundreds of years since the Great War would be the Brahmin. Brahmin are one of the most important mutated species that emerged in the wasteland, descended from the Indian Brahman cattle variant and imported into the United States for crossbreeding purposes. As a result of the constant radiation that these animals have had to endure, these formerly normal domesticated cows have, over time, sprouted a second independent head, and the skin of the animal has over time turned a toasty, dusty orange-red colour from the fallout exposure in the atmosphere, and their horns have become a dirty brown. But don't let this think that these animals are useless. This animal is one of the most versatile and capable livestock animals in the wasteland, with the animal itself having 8 stomachs, which is double of the normal domesticated cow, and these stomachs are used for the animal to consume as much food as possible, with the animal constantly being used as a means of transport and trading, which in addition, these animals are capable of carrying up to 500 pounds of weight. Brahmin themselves can also provide milk, and their feces are an efficient fertilizer and fuel for fires. When killed, they become even more useful as a source of meat, leather, bones, tails, and even fat for soap making. They also don't need much to survive, as they can go without water for extended periods of time, and can subsist on whatever weeds they find in the arid wasteland. Overall, these advantages make them the cornerstone of many post-nuclear economies like the new California Republic, whose vast Brahmin herds are the driving force of its industry and the influence of the powerful Brahmin barons. And by extension, they also fuel the economy of parasites, such as New Reno during the 2240s,
when cattle rustling brought much-needed income to the crime families of the city.